Good evening, and welcome to National News Report. I'm your host, and here are the top national and international stories making headlines today. The White House is facing growing international attention tonight, as President Donald Trump issued a strong statement regarding escalating unrest in Iran. The administration has warned that continued violence against protesters could trigger serious diplomatic and economic consequences. U.S. officials are closely monitoring the situation, while urging American citizens in the region to remain alert and follow updated travel advisories. In Washington, preparations are underway for the United States' largest ever delegation to the World Economic Forum in Davos. President Trump will lead senior officials and top business leaders to discuss global trade, artificial intelligence, economic stability, and geopolitical risks amid rising international tensions. Back on Capitol Hill, lawmakers are pushing forward with debates over federal spending priorities. Budget discussions remain tense as Congress faces pressure to balance national security funding with domestic economic relief programs. The Department of Justice is under scrutiny today following the resignation of a top federal prosecutor in Minnesota. The move comes amid controversy surrounding an investigation into a fatal shooting involving a federal immigration officer, raising questions about transparency and accountability. In New York, financial markets showed mixed movement as investors reacted to inflation data and interest rate expectations. Analysts say uncertainty surrounding global conflicts and election year politics continues to influence investor sentiment. Millions of Americans are starting the year with higher wages as new minimum wage laws take effect across several states. Supporters argue the increases will help families cope with rising living costs, while critics warn of potential impacts on small businesses. Social Security recipients are receiving adjusted payments this week, following the annual cost of living increase. More than 70 million Americans are affected, making it one of the most significant federal benefit adjustments of the year. Turning to the economy, energy prices remain volatile as oil markets react to supply concerns and geopolitical developments. Gas prices have shown regional fluctuations, with analysts predicting continued instability in the coming weeks. In corporate news, several major technology companies announced workforce restructuring plans, citing shifts toward automation and artificial intelligence-driven operations. Healthcare remains a major topic nationwide, as hospitals report increased demand amid seasonal illness trends. Public health officials are urging citizens to stay informed and take preventive measures. On the immigration front, federal agencies are rolling out updated visa processing guidelines, impacting work visas, student visas, and family-based applications. At the southern border, officials report a rise in enforcement activity as new security measures are implemented, drawing mixed reactions from lawmakers and advocacy groups. Internationally, Venezuela's government claims the release of hundreds of detainees, though human rights organizations dispute the figures and call for independent verification. In Europe, NATO leaders are holding emergency consultations amid renewed security concerns in Eastern Europe, with the United States reaffirming its commitment to allied defense. China has issued new statements regarding regional trade policies, prompting renewed debate over supply chains and economic dependence. In the Middle East, diplomatic efforts continue as international mediators attempt to prevent further escalation of regional conflicts. Global stock markets saw gains today, driven by optimism in technology and manufacturing sectors, despite lingering geopolitical uncertainty. Gold and silver prices rose sharply as investors sought safe haven assets, reflecting broader concerns over global stability. Back in the U.S., the housing market remains under pressure as mortgage rates stay elevated, affecting affordability for first-time buyers. Transportation officials announced funding for major infrastructure upgrades, including highways, bridges, and public transit systems. In education news, several states unveiled new policies aimed at improving school safety and addressing teacher shortages. Universities across the country are also expanding artificial intelligence programs, reflecting growing demand for tech-focused education. The labor market shows signs of resilience, with job growth continuing in healthcare, logistics, and renewable energy sectors. In environmental news, federal agencies released updated climate reports highlighting increased risks from extreme weather events. Wildfire preparedness is a major concern in western states, with officials urging communities to review emergency plans. Law enforcement agencies nationwide are increasing security measures following recent threats to public spaces. In legal news, the Supreme Court is set to hear cases that could impact federal regulatory authority and individual rights. Cybersecurity experts warn of rising digital threats targeting financial institutions and government networks. The aviation industry is monitoring safety protocols after recent incidents prompted renewed inspections. In sports, teams are preparing for upcoming championship events, with major leagues announcing updated schedules. The entertainment industry continues to adapt to streaming competition, with studios announcing new release strategies. In science and technology, researchers reported breakthroughs in clean energy storage and medical innovation. Space agencies confirmed progress on upcoming lunar and Mars missions, signaling renewed focus on space exploration. Consumer confidence surveys show cautious optimism, though inflation remains a concern for many households. Retailers are adjusting pricing strategies as post-holiday spending patterns emerge. In agriculture, farmers are responding to shifting weather patterns and rising production costs. National security agencies continue monitoring cyber and physical threats as global tensions persist. Community leaders across the country are calling for unity amid political polarization. And finally tonight, officials remind citizens to rely on verified sources for news and avoid misinformation during rapidly developing events. Those are the top 50 stories shaping America and the world today. Thank you for watching National News Report. For breaking updates, subscribe to the channel and stay informed. Good night, and we'll see you next time.